Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us for our database overview class today. So just as the name mentions, we are going to be talking about everything involved with the command database within your command account. So to get started, there's just a few housekeeping rules that we're going to go over. So we do have our chat box. During the duration of our class today, make sure to put any questions that you have in the chat box, and I'm going to do my best to get those answered for you at the end of class. We do also have a YouTube channel, Scott Leroy Marketing on YouTube. I'll go ahead and put all of these links in the chat box. But this is a great way, a great resource for you to go check out the YouTube page, and you will be able to find all of our previously recorded trainings and classes and tip videos. So I just put that into the chat. When you go there, you can search for any of the topics, any of the keywords within Command. And it's just a really great resource to really start to understand everything that KW has to offer. The last thing that we're going to mention is our email. So we do have an email. If you have any questions that we don't get to today or anything that comes up in the future, feel free to send us an email and we would be happy to help you out there. So I have put that in the chat box as well. So let's go ahead and get started for our database overview. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is going into our command account. So let's actually just log out here. If you go into your command, it's going to be agent.kw.com. It's going to bring up this screen for you here. This is your login screen. So you are going to use your username and your password. You'll put your username in the first box, password in the second box. Keep in mind that your password is case sensitive. So if there are any capital letters, make sure that those are correctly put in. If you're not sure what these characters are, you can click on this eyeball right here and it will display what the password is for you to double check that it is correct. One thing to keep in mind as well that a lot of agents tend to run into when they are trying to sign in is if you have a space either before or after your password, that could cause some issues logging in. So keep that in mind as well. Once you are all set with your username and password, we'll go ahead and click sign in. This is going to bring you to your command dashboard. So we do have a really great class command overview. If you are not familiarized with the whole command system, I would highly recommend going to our YouTube page and typing in command overview, where we will do a deep dive into this whole system for you. So what we're going to do today is just talk about this second icon here, our contacts. But before we get into that, we're going to show you a little bit of the back office stuff, just so that you understand the settings and how everything is set up. So in order to do that, we're going to go over to the right-hand side. You're going to see your headshot with your name next to it. Now, if we click on this drop-down, you're going to see that you may have two different profiles. What this means is if you are part of a team, it's going to be part of either your personal or your team account. Now, how you can tell the difference is your personal account is going to have your name with personal under it, whereas your team account is going to have the team name followed by your role that is on that team. Now, the reason that I'm bringing this up is because it is very important to understand when you are putting contacts into your account, you want to make sure that they are under the correct profile. So in order to see how, or which rather profile that you are currently in is going to be the one that is displaying on top. Now, if I wanted to move into my team account, I could go ahead. You'll see that it does darken as it gets highlighted. If I click on that, now when we go up to the top, it's showing that we are currently in our team account. So that's how you can switch between the two. If you are not on a team and you only have your personal account, then you don't have to worry about that. But if you are on a team, just keep that in mind. You always want to make sure that you are in the correct profile before you put information into your accounts. So now that we reviewed this, let's go ahead and we're going to click on our settings. So we're going to stay in our personal profile. We're going to click on settings, and this is going to bring you to your integrations page. So you may have seen this before. This page is where you are able to see all of your connected apps for all of the third-party platforms that are connected to your command account. But what we're going to do today is go over to the left-hand side, and you're going to see command settings. When we click on that, it's going to provide a few different options for us under these settings. And what we're going to talk about today is the contacts. So when we go ahead and click on that, you're going to see now we have even more options, all relating to our contacts within our account. So we're going to review all of these briefly. So the first one is going to be our contact archive. When we go ahead and click on this, this is going to provide a list of all of the contacts that you have archived. So if you ever do this mistakenly, or if you do it purposefully, but then you want to reinstate these contacts, or you just want to get an idea of who has been archived, you can find that list right here. And I'm going to show you once we get into our actual contacts section, how you can archive a contact. But for now, this is just the back end of where you can find a list of all of these contacts. So you'll see that you have your search bar up at the top. It's going to tell you how many you have selected. And then if we're looking at the actual list, we have our header. This box to the left-hand side is our bulk action box. So anytime you see this box in a header, that means that it's going to select all of the contacts that are showing. So if we go ahead and click on that, you're going to see that now it has selected all 4 of our contacts. And then at the top, you do have the option to restore the selected. So what that means is it will put these contacts back into your contact list, or you have the option to delete the selected permanently. You'll notice that when we uncheck that, those 2 boxes go away. So these are only going to come up when we have selected more than one contact. Now, if you wanted to take a look at the options for individually, we can look at a certain name on the list, and we'll go all the way over to the right side, and you're going to have your action items there. So you have your option to restore this single contact, or you can permanently delete this single contact. So that is our contact archive. Now we're going to head to our database wipe. When we click on this, this is providing 2 options for us. We can either archive all of our contacts, and this is saying right underneath, this is going to move all of your contacts into your contact archive list. So sometimes we can see this happen if you wanted to redo your contact list, maybe re-import it, anything like that. We will have some people who will archive all of their contacts. So this is where you can have that option. Now, if you wanted to permanently delete all of your archived contacts from command, this is how you can delete all of the contacts that are in that archived list. So these are just ways that you can remove, archive, delete contacts are going to be under this database wipe. Just keep in mind, be very careful about using this particular setting because it is permanent. Contact tags. So when we click on this, we're going to see this in real time once we get into our contacts applet. But if you are not familiar with a tag is it's something that groups together multiple contacts based off of a specific commonality between the contacts. So as an example, let's scroll down. Oops. Okay, well, the first thing that we can talk about is all the way at the bottom. So if we're not seeing the tag that we want to take a look at, you're going to notice that we're only viewing 1 out of 10 of 282 tags. So if we did want to update this, we could click on this hyperlink and it's going to give us other options to be able to view more tags at one time. So if we wanted to change that to 50, then we have the option to scroll down and you're going to see that we have quite a few different options. We have lead buyer, we have lead seller, we have agent, we have Avengers, birthdays. So anything that you think, if you want to have a specific tag for buyers, for sellers, for school friends, for church members, anything like that, this will allow you to really organize and categorize your contacts. So we do have our search option at the top where we can search for our tags. Now, if we wanted to create a new tag, you can do it in here, or you can create a new tag within the contacts applet as well. From the back end, if we go ahead and click create tag, this is going to give you the option to use a tag name. So let's say we wanted to do, let's do sports, like our sports friends. And then we can change the appearance of the tag. So let's say we wanted them to be yellow. We'll go ahead and click create. And now you're going to see that we have our sports friends tag. So anyone that we meet at sports, our kids' sporting events, will go under this tag. So we can send them particular information or, different hobbies that we all like within that friends group in relation to your business. Now, if I wanted to edit this tag, I can move over to the right-hand side. You're going to see our action items are the pencil icon and our trash can. So the pencil icon is going to allow us to edit this. So if we go ahead and click on that, now we can update this if we needed to make a change. Maybe we want to change the color to purple. We'll go ahead and make that update, and you're going to see that it will update in real time. Now, if I wanted to delete this tag, we could go ahead and click the trash can. We can remove it from the system, and now it has removed that. You'll get that, that green bar at the top saying that that has been completed. So now that we have gone over our tags, let's go ahead and go into our lead management. So lead management, this is allowing us to create rules so that when leads come in, if we set them up with a particular tag, they can automatically get communicated to. So this is a really, really cool, intuitive feature that I would suggest taking a look at. So essentially, you're going to see that we do have a few that are already created. So as an example, we have an open house follow-up that we created. The lead source is from a KW landing page that we have created. The auto tag is open house, and the smart plan is my open house follow-up. So what does all of this mean? The way that we've set this up, we are saying that if any lead comes in and provides their information through this KW landing page, they are automatically going to get tagged with an open house tag, indicating that we met them at an open house. And then they will automatically get put onto a smart plan, my open house follow-up. So within that smart plan, we would set it up to possibly saying, hey, thanks so much for coming to 123 Main Street open house this weekend. Hope you, et cetera, et cetera. So this is all going to be automatic to that particular contact. Now, if we wanted to make any edits to this existing rule, again, we have our pencil button and our trash can, and they always mean the same thing. So our pencil button is our edit button. This is where we're able to edit this rule. If we wanted to edit the title, we could also update the lead source. So if we click on the drop down, you're going to see that we have a ton of different lead sources depending on, wherever you want the leads to come in from for this particular rule. The auto tags, so you can tag more than one. So if we wanted to be open house and if we wanted to add buyers, we could just start typing that in because they're most likely buyers who are coming to an open house, I would assume. So now they're automatically going to get both of these tags. And then we can assign to a smart plan. Started combining those words. If you click on the drop down, you're going to see all of the smart plans that you have already set up into your system. And then you can go ahead and select the smart plans that you want them to be put on. Obviously, the less is probably better. That way you're not like inundating them with emails, but you do have that option. You'll go ahead and click Save Changes. And now you'll see that our buyer's tag has been updated. So let's say we wanted to create a new one. We'll go ahead and click Create Rule. Let's say we want to do sports team follow-up. I'm just going to stick with the sports. Last time we did this, it was all about the holidays, and now we're on sports. Let's see. Okay, let's go. We're going to click on community event. So anyone who comes in through this community event, let's say we're having some event for the sports team that we are fundraising for, we can go ahead and select our auto tag. So let's do, oops, I think I deleted my sports tag. I did. This is a great way to show you that you can create custom tags along the way. So you don't have to automatically already have them created. We created that tag and then I deleted it, but let's say I deleted it, but I actually do need that tag again. We could just click on the create custom tag right there, create our color, click add, and there we go. We already have our tag ready to go again. And then we're going to assign them to our whatever smart plan we want to put them on. Let's just do, I guess it doesn't really matter. Potential buyers. We'll go ahead and create the rule. And now we have our new lead management rule. So now let's go on to the next lead sources. So we did talk a little bit about this in our lead management when we had to choose what our lead source was. So what this means is this is the source of how you are getting this contacts or this leads information. So whether it is an agent, whether it is through Boomtown, maybe you're using Brivity and it's coming through that. If it's a buyer, if it's through Circle Prospecting, let's go ahead and create or show more options. So as we scroll down, you're going to see that there's a lot of different options. Maybe it's from direct mail, from door knocking, an event farm. So there's a lot of different options here. Now, if we wanted to create a new custom source, we can go ahead and click on the Create Custom Source button in the top right corner, and we can create our own. So if you have something that is really specific, let's say, sports fundraiser, because this is an annual event that you have every year. And we're going to change the category. We're going to make it events or maybe relationships, whichever one you feel fits best. We'll go ahead and click create, and then it is going to be, for the purpose of time, let me just go in. I'm going to unselect these. I think I put them under relationships, didn't I? I already forget. Yep, relationships. So now we have our sports fundraiser. So now that is a lead source that we can add to our contacts profile or to our lead management rules. So now let's go to database cleanup. Database cleanup is, this is a new feature that is now that they're allowing duplicates. This is a way for you to see that, merge the contacts, ignore it, etc. So this is a really good way to make sure that you are not adding multiple new contacts who are actually the same contacts, just with different pieces of information. This is a way to make sure that everything that you are uploading is going under the same contact. So this is really coming into play when you are bulk adding your contacts to your command. So if you're uploading spreadsheets, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. But if you are utilizing spreadsheets, this is where you can do your database cleanup. So you're going to see that the contact is it's being triggered quite a few times. It's saying that we already have a duplicate contact in there. Um, excuse me. It's going to show you the information underneath it that you're trying to add to that particular contact. And then you have the option to either ignore the action or you can merge the contact. You can also click on check for duplicates up at the top, and it's going to review your database and it will update this list accordingly just to make sure that you're staying on top of this so that your database is being cleaned up. So this is a really cool feature. And then the next tab over, you do have your merge history as well. So if you click on that, it's just going to keep track of the merge details. So you can keep track of really when you're making these adjustments to your contacts so that if there's ever a discrepancy, you have a record of the moves that you have made for your contacts. Oops, let's go back. All right, the last thing that we're going to talk about um, under contacts is our custom fields. So what this is going I'm going to show you exactly where this comes into play in our contact applet, but for right now, a custom field is anything that you would like to add to a contact that might be recurring information that you want to know about your client. So what I mean by that is when you manually add a client into your contact database, you have the option, and you'll see this shortly, of putting in, their birthday, their anniversary, their kids' names, all of these different, their price point, all of these different pieces of information so that so that you can keep track of it. So the custom fields are just extra information that is not automatically put in by the system, but something that you might really like to know or utilize. So, as an example, one thing that we do have a lot of people utilize is the pie giveaway. So, this comes into handy, especially around the holidays like Thanksgiving time. If you are doing a pie giveaway every November, it's important that you know what type of pies people like. So, you're not, it just gives it that extra little emphasis that you care and you're building that relationship. So you can create a custom field called pie giveaway. That way, when you're putting in the contact's information, you have the ability to put their particular flavors that they like. So when it comes to that pie giving season, you already know exactly what pies are going to who. So that's a really thorough example, I would say, of a custom field. Now, if you wanted to create anything new, you can click on the create custom field up at the top. It's going to have you put in the name. So funny, we are just on our favorite sports team. And then it will have you create the field type. So you have a few options here. A text field means that they're able to or you are rather able to just type it in, or a text area. A drop down means, and this is kind of popular for the pies, that you can actually put the options in there so that you can just select them. You can insert a date. This is going to be more so for if you're putting in a birthday or a home anniversary, things like that. We have our checkbox if you want to put options and be able to check off multiple options. A number, this is more so for like a price point or something like that. And oops, let me scroll down. There we go. A URL, that's if you're trying to put any of their social media profiles or their website. A percentage, if you ever needed to know or had a question that had a response of a percentage, you can do that. And then currency. So that comes up to like max price point or price points in general, etc. So you get to select that field type. You can click create. Oh, actually, before you do that, you do have the option to make it a default custom field. So what that means is if we check this off, let's go ahead and perfect. We're going to click create. That means that now any new contact that I add is going to automatically have this question on there. So as an example, let's go ahead and edit this again. If I uncheck this, this means that I'm going to have to manually add this question. If I don't want to and I want it to be automatic, I would just make sure that this is checked off. So we're going to keep this checked off because I'm going to show you that in just a minute. So where is the other one? So my logs is the last thing that we're going to talk about over on the left-hand side. Really briefly, this is where you're able to see all of your activity regarding your imports and your exports of your database. So if we go ahead and click on imports, you're going to see that we have quite a bit of activity. It's going to tell you the status of whether it was completed or if it was canceled, the day that it started, the day it was completed, the imports, how many contacts failed, meaning that they were not able to be imported, the total number of contacts, regardless of if they failed or not. You're going to have the original file that you imported into the system. And then it's going to provide you with a download for the error file so you can see all of the contacts that were not able to be imported into the system. And it will tell you exactly the reason why. Now, if we wanted to see our exports, we'll go ahead and click on the exports option. And now this is going to tell you the exact same thing, just in regards to the contacts that you have exported from your account. So you're just going to have a list of all of the times that you have exported, just so that you have an understanding of the history going in and out of your contacts database. So that is all of the back end stuff for your contacts. Now we're going to actually get into our contacts database. So in order to do that, we're going to go over to the left-hand side. You're going to see that we have all of our applets here. Now, if you don't know what these icons mean, you can click on this red box up here in the left corner, and it's going to expand those to be able to see what exactly these entail. So we're going to go ahead and click on our contacts. And this is going to bring up our contact database. Let me remove our filter. Perfect. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is how to get contacts into our database. So if you're looking at your screen and you do not have any contacts in your database yet, no worries at all. How you can do that is going over to the right-hand side. You're going to see we have a few options here. Now, the first one is going to be our import. If we click on this, this is where you're able to import a pre-existing spreadsheet that you have of your contacts so that you can bulk add multiple contacts at one time. There is a template for you to download that's going to have the correct header at the top that you will put your the contact's information under so that it will upload correctly into the system. Now, it is a little finicky. So one thing that you are able to do is send your spreadsheet to us at our email address that I put in the chat, and we are happy to import that for you. So once you have your file, you'll go ahead and click Browse. This is going to bring you into your computer file where you'll find the file, and then you will click Continue. So once you do that, it's going to start importing all of your contacts into your account. Now, if you wanted to just manually add your contacts, you can do so by clicking on the Add Contact button. When we click on that, it's going to open up the contact form. You can start putting in the name. You can add a relationship. So let's say we wanted to, oh, I thought we had someone named. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's say that we have these two contacts that are related. You'll see that we can connect them as a spouse, a father, mother, son, daughter, brother, sister, sibling, parent, etc., etc. It goes down quite a bit. So you can choose that and then click Add, and then they are going to be added together. Now, you can put in the email, the phone number, And then down below, we have our lead source. So remember, these are how you are meeting this contact. So if we wanted to choose our sports fundraiser, because that's how we initially met this lead, we can go ahead and click on that lead source. And now that's how we can remember that that's where we met them. You can mark this person as a lead if that is necessary. And then we have our tags. So let's say our tags are, we have sports because they like sports. Let's say that they're also a buyer. So we can just start typing in. Now, let's say we wanted to add something that is not already in here. I'm just trying to think of like random words. So this tag is not in here, but again, we have that prompt to be able to create that custom tag right from here. We'll add our color, click add, and now we have already added that tag to our contact. Now you're going to see a button that says add more information. If we click on this, you're going to see now we have 3 different sections. We'll click on the first one, and it's going to provide all of this information here for us to fill out. Now, it is not necessary to fill out any of this. It's more so of just the information that you already have available, and it gives you an idea of what information you want to ask other people about to really make this profile full for you. So you can get their preferred method of contact, additional email, additional phone numbers, their addresses. You can add social profiles. If we click on about, that's going to bring up their legal name, a description, birthday, home anniversary, relationships. You can also add more relationships as well. Maybe if you wanted to add their work, their company name. And then we're going to click on custom. So custom, again, if we remembered from our back office items, these are all of the questions that were on our custom list. So you're going to see that we did make a default question of our favorite sports team. So now that popped up automatically on this, now that we are trying to add a new contact. Now, if there was something, let's say that we wanted to add pies there as well, but it's not showing up on here, we can go ahead and click Add Custom Field. We can click on our drop down, and it's going to give us a list of all of the custom questions that we have in our back office list. So let's go ahead. We're going to click on the pie giveaway. And you're going to see that it gives us a drop down to choose between the 2 options that we created on the back end. We'll go ahead and click create. And now it has created this contact. So once you create a contact, it's going to create this contact card for you. On the left-hand side is going to be all of the information that we have just put in. So this is all of the same information that we just reviewed. You do have the option to edit. So again, our pencil icon to just go right back into the same screen to be able to edit. And then our 3 buttons, it's kind of like our other options. We can add to a smart plan, and a smart plan is a communications plan that is going to auto send out communication, or it is going to send you a reminder to communicate with that client. So one of the 2 options, and it's really going to depend on the smart plan and how you have it set up. You can also change the account, you can resubscribe, or you can archive the contact. Now, scrolling down, you're going to see that it does give you a health score. So this contact is currently at 28%. The reason being is because we really did not fill out that much. So the more you fill out this card, the more that percentage is going to start to go up. Now, as we scroll down, it's going to tell you again the lead source right here, and it's going to tell you the account and the owner. So this really comes into play a lot on Teams where you can see who the owner is for that particular contact. Scrolling down, we have our neighborhood. So if you wanted to add a neighborhood to this contact, we could click on neighborhood. We can either search for a neighborhood by starting to type it in, or we can click on Find on Map. You can start to scroll in, or you can type in an area. Let's type in, oh, this is just prompting me for here. Okay, let's scroll in. And you're going to see that as you scroll in, you're going to see the different neighborhoods that start to populate. So we're just going to go ahead and click on one, and we'll click save. And now this is telling us that this is a neighborhood that this contact is interested in. So let's say that, they wanted to just be in that neighborhood. We'll tag them, and then that's when we will be able to send them on neighborhood drips. So that is how that works. Over on the right-hand side, we're going to have all of the activity and our activity timeline for the contact. So this is going to be all of their information on the left-hand side. The right-hand side is going to be all of the activity. So you're going to see that we have quite a few different options up at the top. The timeline is just going to give you an overview of everything that has been going on with this contact. So you're going to see that we changed our source. We subscribed them to a neighborhood. If we created an opportunity for them, that would show up here too. So you're going to be able to see everything. Now, if we wanted to add a new activity, we could click on the Add Activity button. Let's say we want to call them, oh, it has to be a past activity. That's right. So we called them today about a new home for sale. We'll go ahead and click add the activity. And now it's telling us that we did call them. So you're going to be able to have a reference point and being able to see how much communication that you have had with this contact. Now, next, you're going to see opportunities. So if we click on this, you're going to see all of the opportunities that are associated with this contact. Smart plans, so you can see any smart plans that you have added this contact to. Tasks, any tasks that are going on will be here. Any notes you want to add about the contact. And any saved searches, meaning that you are creating a saved search based off of their property information that they are looking for, and you are going to send that information out to them via the KW app. So I know that we just went over quite a few different things. We do have classes and tip videos on all of these other topics as well, such as opportunities, smart plans, tasks, and save searches. So I would definitely recommend checking those out as well for a deeper dive onto those particular topics. So now that going back to our contacts, you're going to see that we do have the option right here to click back to contacts. Once we do that, that's going to bring us back into our database. So where we were just in this section, add a contact. Now we're going to go to our next option, and this is going to allow you to check for duplicates. So you can check right here, or you have your exporting option. So you can export all of your own contacts. You can export into a CSV file for mailing labels, or in a PDF file for mailing labels. So you have your option there. When you do export, it will show up in your notifications bell right here. So make sure that you do check that if you are deciding to export your contacts. Now, over on the left-hand side, we have our search bar. If we click in the search bar, you're going to see we have a drop-down with different options that we can choose of how we are searching by. It is easier to just search by everything, leave it as that. And you're going to notice that as I start to type, it is going to update the search. So it does automatically update based off of whatever text you have in the search box. Next, we have our filters. So if we click on filters, this is a way for you to organize your inbox. So if you are or not your inbox, your contacts. So if you are looking for specific contacts based off of specific information, you will want to filter out any other contacts that do not match that information. So when we click on filter, you have the option to choose your contact type. So if you want to search by only contacts or by only leads, you can search by a tag. So let's say we want to search, I'm trying to think of one. I think maybe holiday card has a few. Let's try holiday card. Actually, no, we'll do buyer. That's probably a little bit easier. Okay, perfect. So we have our buyer tag. Our lead source, if we wanted to see only buyers from our recent open house, we can click on that. And then we can put in any of this other information. Um, we'll go ahead and click apply. And the results, we didn't get anything. We don't have too much in this account. Let me try and take out open house. All right, we'll go and hit apply. Perfect. And now this is a list of all of the people who have that buyer tag. So we have 3 buyers in our account. Now, if we wanted to save this search because we are frequently, wanting to reach out to just our buyers, we can do what is called a smart view. A smart view is a way to get to filtered lists quickly. So basically, you can save them so you don't have to go through the hassle of filling out all of the filters every time. So we could do that by scrolling up to the top. You're going to see we have the create smart view and we have the manage smart views. So as we scroll down, you're going to see that we have all contacts. We have a list of just our recruits. We have a list of 6 months or greater. We have a list of recently active. So if we wanted to create a buyer's smart view, let's say it's new buyers, we'll click on save smart view. Let's go ahead. I'm going to clear all of my filters and apply so that we go back to our original dashboard. But now if I wanted to go to, let's say I wanted to hit my buyers really quickly, I can click on that and it goes right back to that list. Now in our actual dashboard down here, you're going to see that we do have some options to customize. So the first one is if you're looking at this and you really think that you should be able to see their address because we don't have an address up here, you have the ability to customize your columns. Now, if we click on this, it's going to provide all of the available columns over on the left-hand side that you can add to your dashboard. So let's say we wanted to add our mailing address. And then over on the right-hand side, you have the ability to rearrange the order. And you can do that by clicking on a box, and then you can drag and drop. So let's go ahead. We just added mailing address, and we're going to put it up towards the top. We'll click apply, and now you're seeing mailing address is showing up right here in our screen. Now we also have the option to change the view. So right now we are in our list view, which is notated by this icon right here. We also have an icon view. So if we go ahead and click on that, you're going to see that it expands the contacts a little bit. We don't have our header anymore. And it's just an overall different look. Now this is totally based off of your comfortability and what you want your account to look like. So it doesn't matter either way. You just kind of have that option to customize. So over on our right-hand side, we have the option to scroll through our pages. So let me clear our filter out again and go to the original page. So now you're going to see, oh, we still don't have enough contacts. That's okay. If we had more than 50 contacts, sorry, let me click on this hyperlink. Okay. Now you're going to see that these are dark gray and we can highlight them, meaning that we can go in between our pages. So this is how you would scroll between your pages. Now, if we wanted to view more than 10 contacts at a time, we're going to hit that hyperlink and it's going to give you the option to select the amount of contacts that you can see on one page. Now, the last thing that we're going to review is, again, if we wanted to do that bulk action item, we would select the box that is in our header. It's going to select all of the contacts that are on our page. So you're going to see that it says right at the top, we've selected 47 contacts. And then we get this action bar that shows up right here. Now, this is all of the bulk actions that we are able to do to all 47 of the contacts that we have selected. So we can add them to an activity, add a note, tags, an email list, add them to a smart plan, archive them, export them, mark them as a lead, remove tags, etc. So there's quite a lot that you can do. Typically, we'll see people add them to a smart plan. If you click on that, then it will give you that option to bulk create or do that bulk action to all of those contacts at one time. So if we deselect that, it's going to tell you up at the top that now we have selected 0. If we just wanted to take a look at a particular contact, you can click on that contact's name. It's going to open up that card for you. Or you can go all the way to the right side and you're going to see these 3 buttons here. If we click on those, it will give you those same action items that we had in our bulk action drop down, but it's just going to be for this particular contact. So this is how you can add activity to that single contact, make a copy and share, add a note, archive, view, or add to smart plans, and then mark as a lead. So the last thing that I do want to mention is the difference between leads and regular contacts. So any lead that comes in, that's going to be through any of your lead sources that can come in either through your website or a landing page that are automatically being put into your system for you. They're going to be showing up with this green circle next to their name. And if you hover over it, it's going to tell you that they're a lead. Now, if you click on that, it's going to say that they're a lead there as well. And it's going to have this checkbox checked off that is indicating that they are a lead. All right, that is everything that I have for our dashboard overview. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Keep in mind to check out our YouTube page, Scott Leroy Marketing on YouTube. And as always, email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com with any questions that you might have. Thank you so much for joining us again, and we will see you next time.